Hello friends, today we are going to solve a very simple PDA problem. Given the language L is equals to X belongs to 0, 1 star, where the number of zeros in X is equal to number of ones in X. So basically hash represents the number of zeros, right? So let's get started. So first we'll be making the initial state. Our initial state is Q0. Now we will be defining our transitions. That is, if we get a 0, our stack top is initially Z0. So we will be adding the 0 onto the stack, that is, it will be replaced with 0Z0. Similarly, if we get a 1 initially, our stack top is Z0. So we will be adding it onto the stack. Now if we get consecutive zeros, that is, we get input symbol 0, stack top is 0, so we will be adding onto the stack. Similar case for 1, that is, if we get a 1, stack top is 1, so we will be adding it onto the stack. Now the case comes when we get a 0 when the stack top is 1. So the case when we get a 0 and stack top is 1, so we'll be replacing it with null. So for every input symbol 0, we will be deleting a corresponding 1. Similar transition can be defined if for an input symbol as 1, stack top as 0 to be replaced with null. Right. So here our input symbol is 1 and our stack top is 0. So we'll be replacing it with null. So now the final transition is left, that is the transition to our final state Q1. And that is a transition null comma Z0 will be replaced with Z0. That is, when the input is over, stack top is Z0, so we will be replacing that with Z0 and moving on to Q1. So this is our PDA corresponding to the given language L. Now let's take an example and understand what actually we are doing. So if we take an input as 0, 0, 1, 1. Alright, this is our input string X. So initially we are at Q0. Our stack initially has Z0. Now if we get an input symbol as 0, so we'll be seeing another transition 0, Z0. So we'll be adding 0 onto the stack and remaining at Q0 only. Alright, so we'll be remaining at Q0. And we'll be adding it onto the stack. Now if we get another 0, so again we'll be adding it onto the stack and we'll be remaining at Q0. Now if we get a 1, so we have defined our transition input symbol as 1, stack top we are having 0 at the top, so we will be deleting the 0 corresponding to the 1. Alright, so we will be deleting this 0 and we will be remaining at Q0 only. Now once again we get an 1, so we'll be doing the similar thing that we have done previously by deleting the 0 corresponding to the incoming 1, and we'll be going to Q0. Now our input is over, so we have defined the transition that when we are at Q0, null, that is input is over, and stack top is Z0. So here we are having stack top as Z0, so this is the valid transition here. So we'll be going on to Q1. So Q0 on null, we'll be going on to Q1, where the, remember here, stack top is Z0. for this transition. Here we are having stack top as Z0. So finally we have reached Q1, that is our final state. Hence this string X is accepted. And we can verify this as it has 2 zeros and 2 ones. So hope you guys have understood this question. Thank you.